That is the society we live in, and that is why the more I do these videos, the more I understand why men don't want to get married. I honestly understand why men are like, mm-mm.
So hold up. I have to ask a question. She sounds like she's from Africa, but um, what do you think about marriage? Do you think marriage is good for men? Well, y'all don't have a divorce, so I guess it wouldn't be bad because the woman can't. So let me ask you this: how about this? If
Mm-hmm.
you know that if a man gets married and he has, let's just say, like a guy like me who owns his own house, makes
Mm-hmm.
a really decent amount of money every year, and I have, I can't say assets outside of the house other than like a pension. But all this stuff, if I
Mm-hmm.
get married and I get divorced, my wife gets to take half of all of it. And not only that, if we have kids, she ends up
Mm-hmm.
getting the kids. She'll get child support, which will be 20%. She might even get 20% of my income. Might even get alimony, which is another
Mm-hmm.
10% of my income. And not only that, every guy that I know, such as I told you, I just came back to Atlanta and I met up with my homeboy, and he's married. He's been married for
Mm-hmm.
8 years. And this is what he said to me. He said, my wife, was Valentine's Day. And he was like, it was the day before Valentine's Day. And he was like, my wife hasn't given me none in 6 months. Hopefully on Valentine's Day, she'll give me some. And I'm like, every guy I
Mm-hmm.
know, when they get married, like the sex just completely drops down.
Uh,
I mean, it's not like that in the Philippines. I figure once you've been married to somebody for a long time, I mean, you're not even gonna be
mm-hmm.
sexually attracted to them anymore because you get all that stuff out of the way in, I guess, the first 2 years. But the attitude goes
Mm-hmm.
up, the sex goes down, especially like good quality sex. I don't even. I was gonna say, I know people who haven't had a blowjob in years. Like their wife hasn't given them a blowjob in years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I stay single, I get to keep all my money, all my assets. I get to keep all my time.
Mm-hmm.
I could go where I want, when I want. I don't have to answer to anybody. Then, when I meet a new woman, the sex always starts off as amazing, and then from there you work your way down. So I don't. Do you think it's smart? Do you think it's wise for a man to get married? I mean, when what is he really getting by getting married that he couldn't get? What would I receive by getting married that I can't get right now? Plus some.
Yeah, actually, that's a very like hard question to like really imagine to do. But I think in your case, you really, if you wanted to really settle down, if you really like look forward to start a family in the future, then you should start looking for the right woman to invest with. Because I think, marriage is like an investment. If you invested with the wrong woman, then you're fucked up, but you're
Yeah.
invested in a good person that will stick with you no matter how hard times get. And I think these days prenup is like a good thing. Like it protects you and protects her as well in the event of a divorce. So if you can find a woman which is okay to like do the prenup, and then as long as you provide for the family, then I think you can go ahead and get married. But if you find someone who is not okay with prenup, the type of woman that cannot really, handle herself, find a job, or do the wifey things in general, then you should not settle for that kind of woman at all.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I do want to get married. Anyways, just not
Mm-hmm.
while I'm young. I mean, like if you take all everything I got, half of everything I got right now, that's gonna cripple me for the rest of my life. But if I'm 50
Yeah.
years old, 55, and you take everything I got, I mean, I don't plan on doing much more anyway. So at that point, I'm just gonna be wanting to sit in the house and, if I have kids, raise my
Yeah.
kids, play with my kids, while other
Yeah,
people be
exactly.
playing.
Because I think the law in America is way too like biased towards the woman. Because if the man is the provider and then the woman starts to like cheat on you and do something really bad stuff and then ask for a divorce, then it's like a huge loss for the man. So I think it's all about the law, which really puts down towards the men, and that's kind of disadvantage for you in general whenever you get married, or you whenever you get into a relationship, or just have starting a family in America. It's really hard.
Do you feel like in your country that the law is caters to the women or the man more?
I
About
think
equal?
it
I mean,
caters to the men more, in my own opinion.
so the girl who does my hair, she's from Mali in Africa. You know what that is, Mali? It's in like northern Africa. Well, probably more so
Mm-hmm.
West Africa, Northwest Africa. But yeah, she says that in her country that the men, like if they get divorced, the men gets to keep the children. And she's like, she was telling me that it's a bad idea because she said that women stay in abusive relationships just because they don't want their kids to be taken. And I was like, I bet you your
Mm-hmm.
country doesn't have a lot of crime in it, does it? And she was like, no, it really doesn't have much crime at all. And I was like, exactly, because men will teach men how to be men. Like in my country, the women raise the men, and the men become emotional like the women. And when they get upset, they
Yeah.
do something stupid off of their emotions. So the men aren't able to raise the men to be men. But in her country,
Mm-hmm.
everything runs smoothly because the men keep the children. And I really think that's what we should do here. But what I think doesn't matter.
No, a little bit deeper. A feminine woman is feminine no matter what setting she's in. Paying your own bills just means that you're an adult. Because if you don't have a house, what are you? You're homeless. If you don't have a job, what are you? You're jobless. If you can't pay your bills, you're a fucking bum, right? And so, with that being said, we get a lot of women that like to confuse money with masculinity. And so, listen, but this is what they do.
Yeah.
They confuse money with masculinity. So we go a little bit deeper. That's why a lot of these women can't even date successfully, right? Because you got a lot of these so-called sexy, successful, single ass women, because a lot of women have they're so stuck in their masculinity that when masculine men actually come around, they don't even really want to relinquish that power. It becomes a dick measuring contest when a real man comes around, because you don't even want a man to outman you because you've been so-called manning for yourself for so long.
No, but you're gonna have to man better
Wow.
than me.
How about you, woman? How about you?
I do both.
Because there should be nothing, right? To go a little bit.
You hear the problem. That's the problem right there. Look, you need to man better than me. I'm a woman, but I'm going to act like a man, and you just need to be a bigger, better man than me. Now, there's only so much manning you can do. What do you want me to go outside and just start like freaking shooting people or something? How do you become the most masculine man to ever exist? Like, but that's what they want. They want us to be super tough, and that's why there's so much violence, because it's like she's masculine and she wants you to be more masculine. How does a young man think of being more masculine than a masculine woman? Well, he got to go out there and he got to prove himself by violence. I mean, conquering. That's what the Europeans teach us. You know, Europeans, they glorify all that conquest and Alexander the Great and Napoleon Bonaparte, all them people. That's how, and we came up under them. So we think conquest and violence is how you become more masculine. That's my take on the situation. But I'll keep it running.
I cannot believe she said that you have to man better.
Come on, man. You don't know better than that as a cool person. Come on, man.
Taxes was waiting and wondering.
So curious, what's the most masculine thing you do?
Oh, for me, let me think. I guess since I'm living alone, I started to like do more of the masculine stuff because I pay for everything. So I work and pay for everything. So I think that's the most masculine thing I did.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know. Do you drive? Do you work on your car, or like cut the cut the grass, mow the lawn, or you pay people to do all that? You don't. I don't even know if you live in a house. You might live in an apartment or something.
Before, when I was like in my early 20s, starting to look for a job, I do everything. Like I learned how to, before I left home, I don't know how to cook. So after I learned how to cook, I learned how to like saw and build something like same with furnitures. I learned how to assemble things. I learned how to do simple plumbing because when my faucet broke, I have to do it on my own. But now that I'm like really earning a lot, I started to hire people.
That's what I
Should
believe.
do it?
That's what I believe too. I feel like stick with what you know, stick with what you're good at, and earn the money
Yeah.
at what you're good at, and excuse me, hire people to do everything else.
Exactly, because you're like, I realized before that, when you're in a very tight budget and you don't have nowhere or someone to run to, you have to really do it by all yourself. So you have to like really improve your living status, like earn more, do more, like in order for you to buy or like hire someone to do stuff for you, and it makes your life more easier.
Yeah. So nothing. You're not too masculine.
Yeah, I think just a little bit.
It goes back to these hard-headed women, and this is why so many of them are single mamas, because they cannot fall back and listen, but they're going to turn around and complain how hard it is. You can't even listen to when the man said, stop being a man. She going to talk about, oh, well, I'm a man. You just need to be a better man than I am. Ma'am,
She's Jamaican.
Stop it. Get some help.
I can't believe she said that. I cannot believe she said that. And then y'all caught when she said, I do both. Like, ma'am, why are you even doing
I guess my internet is that bad.
that? Is his point exactly. Y'all don't know how to be women. Y'all just so masculine. Y'all want to be men so bad. So bad. And she thinks that it's a flex to say, I do both.
This is another question I have for you. Do y'all have like jobs? Okay, I think I might have even asked you this before, but do y'all have like jobs that mostly women do, and then other jobs that like mostly men do? As far as
Yeah, we have here. We actually have here. I think more on the labor side. Usually they hire men, but say for example on the corporate side, I think there is still not like 100%, but I think there is still like companies who prefer to hire men or prefer to promote men rather than women because they think like women are more emotional, and they sometimes think that women like do decide things based on their emotional level or their emotions. So there is still, but not really that big of a deal these days, but there's still like few.
yeah, it used to be illegal to do stuff like that here, but I don't know if you heard, but our president just like made it to where you could discriminate on your hiring practices. You don't have to hire women. You don't have to hire minorities. If a company want to hire all white people now, they could do it.
Oh,
And trust me, they're gonna start doing it.
that's so bad.
And this exactly is why the black community is where it's at. This exactly is why men are saying, I'm going to get my passport. Because who on earth is going to sit there to convince a woman to be a woman and then hear the woman talk about, oh, well, you need to be a better man.
Man, this is some bullshit.
Y'all, do me a favor, hit the like button. That way we can push this message out there, because topics like these, we need to talk about. I cannot believe y'all, I genuinely cannot believe that was... Boy. Anyways, y'all, that's why I support the Passport Bro movement 100%.
That was one of my marriages.
Oh, one of them. Okay.
That was one of my marriages. I've had 4.
Okay.
I've had 4 marriages. Yeah.
I'm curious. What did you learn in those?
Wait, real quick. I had seen someone left a comment. I was watching a true crime show, and I saw somebody left a comment and was like, if you've been through 4 divorces, you don't need to go through a 5th marriage. Just buy a dog.
Oh my God.
And I was like, that is facts. That is facts. But let's hear what she got to say about her 4 divorces.
Or did you get it right after, or did it get
I
better?
learned that I'm a bitch and need to be by myself.
I feel you.
Why you say that? You feel what? So you just like your space. You just learn. Look, it's me.
Thank
It's me,
you.
and it's okay,
Thank
and I'm
you.
gonna do me.
I don't know. I just I love men,
Yeah.
but I don't think you really have to be married to have one.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm not real easy to get along with.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you seem
Yeah.
so sweet and so, docile.
I mean, I can be, but I'm just not really.
So let me say this now that I think about it. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in marrying an American woman.
So there's a difference.
yeah, there's definitely a difference in the way that the women treat you, and just the way a traditional woman, a woman that knows how to be a woman. Because look, what they're saying. I mean, I'm pretty sure we watched plenty of videos before. It's always the same stuff, and I mean, they're not gonna change. I feel like, I love American women because I'm an American man, but they still got a lot they need to figure out. They're still figuring it out. I believe they're gonna figure it out, just not with me. I'll they can figure it out over there. I'll be over here. That's how I feel about it. Like, I'm just happier by myself. Even the last girl I dated that was American, outside of the Korean girl, terrible. Arguments were terrible.